Hello, fight fans. Welcome to another episode of More Than a Fight podcast. I am your host, Jose Alfredo Alcázar. This is your co-host,
Juan.
and behind the camera we have
John.
And please, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are enjoying our content. This episode will be dedicated to the world of boxing, and of course, this was Cinco De Mayo weekend, so you already know who we're going to talk about. Saul El Canelo Alvarez taking on John Ryder of Britain. How did you see this one, Juanillo?
I saw it go as expected. Canelo gassed out at the end, but still won the rounds. But people hate. I mean, even though he won every round, he's washed up.
It was packed in there, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it
man.
Was
and
cool.
he had, 150
Look at that
Mariachi?
entrance. Yeah, that entrance is bananas.
Yeah, that was crazy.
No, I had to include it.
Yeah, some guy went up to the top row to show you the view from the stadium. Dude, you can't even see the fucking... You could barely see the fucking...
Oh, really?
He just wanted to show what it was.
No, that was it. This is one thing I will say. There is nobody, and I'm including Anthony Joshua now, that can touch this dude's entrances. I mean, nobody. And the way Matchroom and Eddie Hearn do it, because they help orchestrate it, nobody touches this cat right now as far as entrances are concerned.
Right now, no.
But anyway,
yes,
let's jump to the fight and what we saw. For me, I want to make sure I point out how much respect I have for John Ryder, because everybody was saying, who's he fighting? He's some pushover. And if you actually watch the fight from beginning to end, you clearly saw that John Ryder was not there to lay down, because he did land some really good shots on Canelo. And like Juan said, maybe it was because he was getting tired, because Canelo does have that in his resume that he does tend to tire out. I personally think it was because Ryder was pushing him, and also Canelo was looking for the knockout because he wanted to deliver for the home crowd in Guadalajara. But Juanillo, I mean, what did you think of John Ryder's performance? Because I want to show him some love.
No, he fought. Well, he gave it his all. I mean, obviously he didn't win the rounds, but he was tagging up Canelo. I don't think Canelo expected all that either.
Yes,
he expected to knock him out when he knocked him down. He broke his nose, and Ryder just kept coming, dude. He had no quit in him.
Yeah,
he's a tough motherfucker.
Yeah, that I'm glad you pointed that out.
In the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was just attrition at this point, you know. But Ryder stuck in much more longer than I thought he would.
Yeah, I mean, the shots he took, man, I was just amazed that he kept like coming back. I thought he was just gonna give out at one point, but nope. Ryder stayed in there, man, and fought his ass off. I mean, to the capacity that he could. But again, I just want to make sure we highlight his heart, because everybody's going to just brush him off because he didn't have the notoriety that other fighters have that Canelo's fought before. But he showed what he's made of and what he's got.
Good skill also. It isn't like he has no skill.
Oh, no, absolutely. And that's why I always tell people, like, this dude's in the ring for a reason. He's not a pushover. Sometimes people need to just educate yourself a little bit, get to know who the guy is. Don't just automatically brush him off because you don't want to do your homework, or at least, get to know the fighter a little bit, his background.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, who does he fight? He fights people in Britain again.
Oh.
He's not coming over here.
Well, no. Eddie Hearn already said Golovkin.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay.
He said that that he get such a good showing of himself that they're going to try to get him set up with Golovkin.
I mean, if Golovkin doesn't get a fight at a middleweight, why not? I think that would be a great fight for both guys. And it would be an action fight without a shadow of a doubt, because let's be honest, Golovkin can't really move the way he once did. So I think that would be an entertaining fight without a doubt.
Get Ryder back on track kind of thing, and then...
And now, of course, let's jump to really what happens next. And yes, we're talking about Dimitri Bivol. And Canelo already said it. Juanillo?
Well, Canelo says, 175, right? But Bivol says, no way, I'm not fighting unless it's at 168. Canelo will have his way.
Yes, I was going to say the money will make him fight at 175.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I want it to be at 175, because then you take away the talking points from all the people that don't like Canelo or don't give him his due, if you will. Because if he brings him down to 168, it's going to be a lot of what I heard from somebody like Andre Ward, who's a respected guy in the sport. And he basically said, if you're going to take this guy on again, you better do it at 175 like you did the first time. Because if you do it at 168 the second time, you're not going to get the credit that you want. And that's what Andre Ward was arguing. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing because he said it on a couple months ago on State of Boxing on ESPN. And he was basically just saying, hey, if we're going to hold him to a certain standard, let's hold him to the standard that we're holding all these other guys. So I want Canelo to fight him at 175 because of comments like this. Because I know people are going to come after him and say, no, you're fighting him at 168. You're trying to get him down to your weight class, blah, 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 blah. Nope. Canelo already said, I want it at 175. Everything the same.
Counter argument to that, though, is that Bivol wants it at 168. He wants to test the belts. Now, is that Canelo shielding his belts just in case?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's a risky fight regardless. And Bivol said he could make 168 no problem.
Oh, yes. He's not a big 175.
So, I mean, why risk your belts? I mean, if Canelo goes up and wins, you know what? He's great. But if he loses, he's still great. He took a risk.
Mhm.
That's how he's going to do it. He's not going to fight him at 168.
Yeah.
Because that's my issue with it, right? Is that, okay, say he goes up there and he beats Bivol
Mhm.
the second time around. What? You think they're going to do a trilogy? I don't think so.
No, Canelo won't do it again.
Yeah. And then so Bivol is the one who gets really kind of
He gets shafted, yeah.
Okay, but here's the solution. And unless Bivol's going to stand his ground, solution is simple. Okay, you don't want to do it at 175? How about I give you another $5 million? That'll probably make him say yes. Or maybe he gives them even a bigger cut of the pay-per-view because it's going to be pay-per-view.
Yeah,
So I think they're going to have to throw more money at Bivol in order to do it at 175. But I agree with you, John. I think if you're Bivol, you want it at 168 because then you become not only undisputed champion, but you become a two division champion, and then you can move back up to 175 and fight Artur Beterbiev and become undisputed at 175.
Yeah.
That would be a crazy turnaround. 168 undisputed, and then you go for undisputed at 175. For sure, if I'm Bivol, absolutely, I want it at 168.
Because that's the other thing, right? Doesn't Bivol need to shield his belt? You know what I mean?
I think it's all about the money now for Bivol.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he was getting paid that much before.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so it's about the money, I think.
I think this time he can ask,
I guess
I don't know if double, but for sure an extra $5 million. I don't know how much he got the first fight. I wonder if we could find that out. But he's definitely going to get more money without a shadow of a doubt, and especially if Canelo's going to push for 175. Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And the only thing that I wanted to ask you guys is, if you're Bivol, do you just wait until September to fight? Because at this point, I think you kind of have to, no?
September is pretty close.
That's what I'm saying.
So yes, I'd say wait.
He'd have to fight. No, yeah, next month, if anything. And he
doesn't have a fight.
Announced.
No, he doesn't have a fight.
All right, so Bivol got $2 million guaranteed, and then 30% of pay-per-view.
And now it's going to be
40%. Came out to mathematically because I don't think they announced the buys.
Let's say 10 million.
Yeah, let's say 10.
So this fight he's gonna want double, which he's probably gonna get if Canelo really wants
100%.
So.
And then
$4 million plus.
I mean
40%, if not 50% of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure
he's not gonna get 50.
He's not taking 50.
Okay, 40.
$4
million plus 40%.
To be honest, I would take more guaranteed money, and then just keep the 30%.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I just hope it gets made soon. Announcement. Yeah. Both have good training camps and make a good fight.
All right. And then the one guy that nobody, I mean, he's getting mentioned, but like, no chance, huh?
Next, no, not Canelo. I don't think he's taking it next.
Okay.
He's gonna end up fighting Boo Boo, I think.
Over Morel?
Or Morel. He says he doesn't care who he fights. So.
And this is David Benavidez.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
coming off the win off Caleb Plant.
Boo Boo will talk better than Morel, but Morel will be a tougher fight.
Oh yeah, I think so also.
Although I am a big Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade fan, because again, I feel like that dude has never gotten his due. He's never gotten that fight. And unfortunately, he's going to get it, but against a dude that is just insanely difficult. I don't see how Boo Boo's going to hurt
Well,
Benavidez.
he ran it from the Kazakhstan guy, so I don't know.
See, that's where I think if I'm Demetrius Andrade, I actually want to fight Janibek over Benavidez.
He already ran from. He vacated his belt.
Run
He
from him.
vacated.
I
He
wouldn't call it
ran.
running. That's a strong
Run.
word. No way. I
Avoid.
think he can. I honestly think he can beat Janibek.
Of course he can beat him, but he didn't want to
If
fight
I'm
him.
Boo Boo, I go fight Janibek at 160, and then I go after Benavidez at 168.
But he ran from Janibek when Janibek looked like a monster.
Why you gotta say run? He didn't run. He made a
avoided.
business decision.
Not to lose at the time because he was scared.
Okay. Sure.
Janibek was looking good till his last fight. So
Against Bentley, wasn't it?
I don't remember his
The
name.
British
but
guy?
Well,
I
isn't he
remember.
fighting this weekend?
Yes, he is. You're right.
Alright.
Mhm.
And then why don't we move on to Martinez?
Oh yes, Julio Cesar Martinez. Yes.
He's just a tough mofo.
Yes.
He likes scrapping. He likes just fighting. He's not a
Yeah.
boxer.
Yeah,
man.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna say. When
we
you
had
took the words right out of my mouth.
Martinez versus
I forgot his last name.
Batista.
Batista
Bautista. Okay.
from
Bautista.
Dominican Republic.
I mean, the opponent came to fight though. He was not laying down. He was hitting homeboy a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because Martinez does leave himself open.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, these highlights aren't going to tell the entire
That's the
story of the
ending.
fight, but if you guys can, go on the zone and watch it, because in the early rounds, I thought Martinez was having a lot of trouble really gauging Bautista. But then, of course, the thing with Martinez is he's going to take punches because he just wants to fight. The dude he's a fighter, then a boxer. The guy loves to fight. And obviously, the biggest fight we can see is Sonny Edwards, no? Or
Well,
Sonny Edwards wants Bam, so
that is
I
true.
hope that gets made.
And then, but I saw a bunch of people saying that Sonny Edwards smoked Martinez.
Well, boxing wise, yes, but can he take the
I was
pressure?
about to say that, yeah.
Is the thing.
If it was just straight boxing, yes, Edwards is a better boxer from what we've seen. But like Juanillo says, when you feel that pressure, when that
The
dude's
power.
constantly on you, even though you're hitting him with everything, and if you can't keep him off of you, how are you going to beat him? And like I said, Martinez is a fighter first, a boxer second.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, well, we're looking for an announcement soon.
yeah,
Hopefully,
we'll see about that.
Yeah. And then we had a little controversy
Yes.
on the same card with the
Steve Spark against
Goyas.
Goyas.
I didn't watch
Wow.
I
this
can't
one.
remember his first name. But this fight was back and forth action, and it was actually a really good fight. But in the later rounds, I felt like Spark started to distance himself with his boxing. Even though Goyas was trying to do his best. That being said, at the end of the 12 rounds, it went to a decision, and Goyas got the decision. Now,
I don't
here's
think
where
he
the
got it.
controversy kicks in, because we just read it on Boxing Scene. So Steve Sparks and Matchroom, who represent Sparks, agreed to have three what's the word I'm looking for?
Neutral
Neutral
judges.
officials,
Judges.
and at the 11th hour they swapped out two of the judges for two local judges in Mexico. Goyas is Mexican. So I think Spark and Matchroom have a legitimate beef right there, because that's not right. If you guys agreed to neutral judges, and from what I read, they were supposed to be the same judges that judged the main event, which was Canelo and John Ryder, and obviously John Ryder's British. Spark is Australian, but the point is he's a foreigner just like John Ryder. So that's what was supposed to happen, but they pulled the okey doke at the 11th hour. So that is not right by any stretch. I think they absolutely need to do something about this and maybe nullify the decision, call it a draw, or call it a no something. But you got to change that, because if that really did happen and Matchroom and Steve Spark did not agree to that, that is absolute garbage. They should not be doing that to anybody.
Yeah. Neutral officials being switched to local last minute.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Well, that's terrible.
That's not okay at all.
Yeah, I thought he won the fight.
I thought
Yeah.
Spark won the fight too. I thought the last rounds are where he pulled it off because it was a close fight. They were exchanging, but at some point, Spark was the fresher fighter, landing the better shots. But yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Then we'll jump to some news and notes. Obviously, the big thing that we saw, Juanillo, Regis Prograis signing with Matchroom.
And he already has a fight.
I think we touched on it, but yeah, he's gonna fight Liam Paro.
Yeah.
An undefeated Liam Paro.
Australian as well, because we just mentioned Spark. I actually like this fight. I think Paro is not gonna be an easy opponent, and obviously we already know what Prograis is all about. But the other rumor, and you tell me what you guys think, and I think John informed me about it, and I came across it early this morning, is there we go. Coppinger's reporting that they're going after Subriel Matias.
That's a big pickup.
Well, they're going after him. He's a free agent.
They'll sign him. They have a lot of people to fight there. I think they'll sign him. Just Subriel called out Prograis already, and he wants his belt. He says so. I mean, that helps.
And then what I like,
put him against Catterall.
What I kind of like about this stuff is that a lot of these guys are willing to move weight, easy peasy. It's not so static at this like 135 to 1.
Oh yes, no, yeah.
You know, they're very willing to move around.
There's
so you can make some fights.
And like you said, between those two weight classes, there's so much that can happen, and I hope a lot of it happens. Obviously, we're already going to get Haney and Loma, and then Haney we know is going to move up to 140 eventually, and of course we have Teofimo and Taylor at 140 later this month. So I hope that Subriel gets signed, or that they fight, no matter who they're signed to, because I want to see Prograis against Matias, or against Taylor, or against Teofimo, or you pick. I don't care. One of the top guys.
Don't leave Catterall out.
Yes. Oh, no. You're right.
Catterall deserves a fight.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Jack Catterall, without a shadow of a doubt. And then, of course, Rolly's going to fight for the title, which is garbage. But we'll touch on that later in the week. And the other thing I wanted to point out, before we forget, let's show the UK some love. Joshua Buatsi fought on Boxer, or his debut on Boxer.
Boring fight. Yeah,
I was going to say, it wasn't the debut that he hoped to have.
It just looked like shaking off cobwebs.
And it sounds like shades of what Lawrence Okoli did in his debut on Boxer. Not that we're trying to throw shade at Boxer. We're just saying both debuts weren't exactly what Boxer probably would have wanted. So now I'm wondering if Boxer can make Buatsi versus Yard, because that's who Buatsi mentioned. How do you see that one? If that potentially
Yard.
You think so?
I mean, maybe it's because it's time away from the ring. He just looked real
rusty. Yeah. Of course, there's ring rust, without a doubt.
Yeah, but I would take Yard.
Okay, both of you take Yard. Actually, you know what? I find that hard to argue with, based on how he looked against better BF and better competition, to be honest. So I think the three of us are, as of right now, all in agreement with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that covers most of our news and notes. If we missed anything, make sure to put something up on TikTok or create a short. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Like we said in the beginning, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button. John?
All right. Just bleed.